Today we're going to take a look at the Eizo FlexScan EV2455. I got this monitor as a review unit, so we're going to take a look and do a quick unboxing, what comes with the monitor, and kind of give you a quick overview of what it's all about. So first off, what came with the monitor itself? We got a user's manual, we got CD, some more software, whatnot. I believe on this CD actually there's software you can install and actually control your monitor with it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Put that off to the side. Typical power supply or power cable, a USB 3 cable to connect your monitor to your computer, as well as a display port to display port cable. So pretty standard stuff, nothing too exciting there when it comes to stuff that comes in the box. So I guess we'll just move right into the monitor here itself. The monitor, I mean, looking at it, it's a sexy monitor, isn't it? I mean, I personally love the way this monitor looks. It's a very modern, sleek, square monitor, and yeah, it looks great. It's got a tiny bezel. I think they say like 1 millimeter. So really, if you're going to do a multi-monitor setup, you can put 2 or 3 of them next to each other, and it almost looks like continuous glass. Nothing at all. There's a little more bezel on the bottom with control buttons and stuff to operate the monitor, change the settings and stuff there if you want to do it the old school way. And actually, the menu system works real clean for that as well. The monitor does go up and down, so it does have a height adjustment in it. So basically you can go all the way down to the floor or raise it all the way up. A couple options there. It does rotate 90 degrees both directions like that. And then it does tilt as well. So it tilts down here at the base. You can tilt it backwards and forwards and all that fun stuff. You can see it is a super thin panel here. It is an LED panel, so you get all the great features that come along with that, including it's got a 300 nit brightness. It does a great job with dimming. It actually has an auto dimming feature built into it, so it can adjust or see your ambient light in your room, and it's never too dark or never too bright for whatever your room situation is. That sensor also doubles as a occupancy sensor. I guess that's what you call it, presence sensor. And it'll actually put the monitor into power save mode if you walk away from it. So that's pretty cool as well. The monitor itself is 1920 by 1200 resolution, so that's really a perfect resolution for trading or really just day-to-day office use, anything like that. I personally love the resolution as well. If you go to a 1920 by 1080, it gets a little short, it doesn't get quite the height, so this is a great spot to be in for that. So let's take a look at some of the connections and stuff it has as well. So I'll turn it around to the side here, and over here there's a audio in and a headphone jack as well. There's a USB 3 port to connect it into the computer, and there are 2 USB ports to use as a hub to plug keyboards or mice or webcams or USB drives, whatever you want into it, and connect to the computer as well. If I flip it around on its side here, so here are your video ports and connections. There's a power switch here, so you can switch it on and off. There's a power jack there, connected to the cable we already have. There's a VGA connection, which is kind of nice. Some of the newer monitors don't have that, so if you have an older computer, you can still use this monitor without a problem. There's a display port, which is the cable that came along with it, and an HDMI, and then DVI as well. So really, you get the plethora of connections and pretty much anything you could want. Yeah, there's really not anything lacking in terms of what you would need in terms of video connections. Looking at the bottom here, there's also 2 1-watt speakers built in there. They're not going to be anything spectacular. You're not going to be able to replace your movie theater sound system with this or anything, but they'll definitely get the job done for basic everyday desktop tasks, listening to some music or notification sounds or whatever you get on your computer. Flip this back around. Flip it around to the back here so you can see that. It does come with a handle to carry it. Probably don't need that a whole lot, but it is nice every once in a while. And also some cable management down here. Run your cables through there so they're not all over your desk. One complaint I do have about this monitor in regards to cable management is this USB import here, the one that goes back to your computer. It's kind of annoying that it's on the side. You're going to have an extra cable looping around here and going down. It'd be nice if that was going to the bottom by the rest of the cables, but it's a pretty small gripe when it comes down to it. So now some of the specs about the monitor itself. I talked about the brightness and the resolution already. The color representation of the 16.7 million colors. It's pretty typical for a monitor in this class. It also has a 5 ms response, another pretty typical thing in a monitor this class. So spec-wise, it's a pretty standard monitor in those regards. You're probably not going to want to use it for gaming or anything high-end like that where you want a really quick response rate, but it does a great job for any work-related tasks, anything like that. Price point, this one is a little steep on the price. It comes in a little over $500. $530 I think is actually what it's listed for on Amazon. So it's definitely up there, but at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. Is this a monitor that I would recommend and personally use on my desk? Absolutely. I would definitely use this all day, every day. Really, for me, the only hang up for this monitor is the price point. There are other monitors out there that do pretty much the same thing for a couple $100 less. So that is probably the biggest hang up, is the price point. Other than that, this is a fantastic monitor, and I'd highly recommend you at least check them out and see what they have to offer. Alright, so I've got this monitor hooked up to my computer, so I can give you a walkthrough on what the control software that I mentioned earlier looks like and kind of how it works, and also just kind of how the monitor looks when it's turned on. So I have the software here installed. It's the Screen Manager Pro software, and basically what it lets you do is control anything that you can control through these buttons here on the screen, but also a little bit more. So for instance, here on this screen, you can have it change the screen color profile based on what application you have open. You can just change the whole thing in general. Right now it's in sRGB mode. I could change this down here and go to movie mode. And you can see, I don't know if it showed up on the screen or not, but I got a little bit brighter, change the little colors a little bit right there. So you can change all that right in the software as well. You can adjust for multiple monitors, so you can get them all to match the same. You can change the economy settings, so when it would go to sleep or how bright it is, all that type of stuff. Looks like that's all off right now, but you can adjust that all here. Some of these other things, I don't even know what this does, but I'm sure you can use it for adjusting color temperature and that kind of stuff here as well. You can set up some hotkeys to turn the monitor on and off right from your keyboard, and it can remind you when to get up from your computer so you don't hurt your eyes, and some other screen care or eye care filters and that kind of stuff there too. So it's actually a really nice piece of software. It saves you from having to mess around with the little menu buttons there. Those buttons aren't so bad to use. They're actually pretty clean, pretty easy to use, but this is even easier, kind of gives you a little more description on what each thing is and how to use it. So that's actually a really nice feature. And as you can see here, the screen looks pretty fantastic too. Just have a simple wallpaper on the background there. We're actually connected via DisplayPort from my Surface Pro 3, so the picture looks fantastic. I had this monitor sitting next to a couple other ones, a couple Dell monitors on my desk as I used it for a couple weeks, and it looked fantastic. By no means was this guy a slouching compared to the other ones. It was probably actually one of the nicest looking ones of the three that I was using. First off, I want to say thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments about this monitor or other monitors you're thinking about getting, certainly let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have and help you out there. Definitely check out some of our other videos on the channel, learn a little bit more about trading. And yeah, just have a great day.